Warped and Whatnot, the Classy Octopus Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, we are coming to you from the upstairs dungeon. This is Warped and Whatnot. I'm Dean.
I'm Kevin.
We're here to walk the talk. Let's get right down to business. Alright, with us today we have a very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I am Jonathan Sicard.
Hi, Jonathan. You're here to help us out today. Is that right?
That is right.
Tell us a little about yourself. Favorite superhero, go.
Batman.
Favorite Terminator in the Terminator series.
Terminator 2.
Correct answer. All right.
See, this is why I brought him.
Favorite spoof movie.
Spoof movie. I'd have to say Airplane.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Airplane.
That's one of the three correct answers. All right.
It was either going to be Airplane or Spaceballs.
It's Airplane, Spaceballs, or Galaxy Quest, because we do count Galaxy Quest. All right, so today's little schedule today, let's go ahead and do our teaser from last week, 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yes.
The movie of the weekend. Kevin, you are just ready to talk about this film.
I am. I was a person, when Cloverfield came out, I was incredibly excited about it because monster movies are my jam. Like, I am so into the idea of monster movies, and we've never really had that good American monster movie. Yeah. And I thought Cloverfield was going to give it to us. And the first time I watched it, I thought it did. I really thought Cloverfield gave it to us.
Yeah.
And each time I watched it after that, my faith in it dropped a little bit more.
Yeah.
And we get to 9 years later, and I kid you not, this is a true story. Yeah. Me and Jonathan were watching Cloverfield like 4 days before the surprise trailer for Cloverfield Lane came out.
That's amazing.
And we said on that day, I said, they missed their opportunity because the fan base for this is dead. So no one would see a sequel if it came out.
Yeah. No, yeah, but, like, the thing is, this movie has absolutely nothing to do with, like, barely anything, like, to do with the first Cloverfield, am I right?
It's
like,
true.
I didn't get to see the first Cloverfield because I was one of the people that heard, like, mixed reviews, and I was, like, younger, but I also didn't get the appeal. I was just like, okay, it's cool that it's shot in the fact that it's, like, it's happening there, like, that's interesting. But I was just like, yeah, I'll probably pass on this one, and years passed, I still passed on it. But this movie, when I saw that trailer, I was just like, one, how do you make a movie in secret these days? How does that happen? Nobody knew anything about this movie.
It's true.
And it was just like, yep, this movie comes out in a couple of weeks.
And it's not like they made a movie in secret and it had like a bunch of nobody actors in it.
No.
Like this is John Goodman and Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yeah.
Like Scott Pilgrim girl in it. Ramona from that is in this. Like that's a big deal.
And like, holy cow, but oh gosh, like this movie, I really like this movie.
Yeah.
I want to say love. I'll give it some time, but I'll probably end up saying I love this movie. Jonathan, your thoughts?
Well, I saw Cloverfield a while ago, a couple years after it came out, and the first time I saw it, I thought it was kind of a fun movie. I thought it really mostly ran on a gimmick.
Sure. Yeah.
Of being,
it was a gimmick movie.
Yeah, it was a gimmicky movie, and it didn't impress me that much.
Yeah.
Like Kevin said, we watched it and we thought, yeah, this movie's absolutely. There's never going to be a sequel.
Well, you got to remember, it's like a lot of people like don't realize this, but that was the film that started the found footage craze,
It
and
did.
like that's still going on. It's like, well, wonderful.
That's the movie
like,
that started it, and then Paranormal Activity is the movie that made it popular.
To be fair, Blair Witch Project did come first, but Cloverfield was the one that it made it explode.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing. The Blair Witch sequel didn't even have the found footage aspect.
But that's why a lot of people were not sure about this because they thought it was going the same way because this isn't found footage.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were like, oh, they abandoned the one thing that made people care about their movie.
Well, you know what? I'm glad they did because I thought that they were able to focus more on the story and the character development, and I thought it worked out really well.
Yeah, and like, I think this is a movie that's a great idea to go in blind. Like, know nothing about this movie, because that's how it was advertised.
Exactly.
The trailer, all trailers, all commercial spots were very cryptic. You only knew, like, John Goodman is just keeping this girl. And that's all you needed to know. And it's just like...
And that's why when you see it the first time, because I saw it twice this weekend. It was great both times, but seeing it the first time is great because you can never really read John Goodman 100% the whole movie.
Like, I was was
It
like,
is a brilliant performance from John Goodman.
Okay, he is one of like the best modern actors.
He's probably like the best character actor working right
heck
now.
yeah.
I think that's 100%.
He's like, I would say he's right up there with Paul Giamatti.
Him and Paul Giamatti, absolutely.
I would love to see them in a movie together
That
if
would
they
be
haven't
great.
been already.
They're good. You know what? They're actually going to be in the Ratchet and Clank movie together.
You're kidding.
Yep.
Like, that's the movie.
That's the movie they do together naturally.
wait. Actually, fun fact, this was the first movie I ever saw alone in theaters.
Wow.
This was the first time. I've been meaning to do it for a long time now because my sister's done it, and she was like, it's an amazing thing. Like, you get to just, it's a different experience. And not to sound too much like a hippie, but it totally was.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I'm glad it was this film that I went to go see by myself. Not to, and like, I don't want to give too much away. Like, we'll like, at like 3 minutes left of this segment, we'll do spoiler talk, and we'll tell people to skip it if they don't want to. But keep talking about
the impressive thing about this movie, which is something about that I also found impressive about the first Cloverfield, but for different reasons, is that this movie, all three of the actors in it are all incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
Like, they're all written well, and they all have their own reasons why they're there, and they're
they
all
carry
done.
the film because
They do.
it's such a small cast, and like so it's almost like a play if you think about it. It's very
This
much
could
a play.
translate very well to a play. And you can tell that the movie was being made before J.J. Abrams came on and made a Cloverfield movie.
Yeah.
Because
You could
it
tell-
was it was going to be a completely different movie.
Yeah.
But they still managed to work it where it didn't feel like it was like ham-fisted in there.
Where J.J. Abrams had his say. He was like, what if he did this? Like, if you
Yeah.
watch the movie, you're like, oh, he thought that up. He totally thought that up. And I actually found out this director, this is his first film. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh!
Right? Like, up and up. Like, so many first directors are getting, like, these movies now. Like, Deadpool, that was his first movie. You know?
Yeah. Chronicle, I believe, was that guy's first movie.
Then he made Fan Four Stick. So
Fan
we
Four-
don't
Well,
talk
that's
about
okay.
him in the bright light.
We should do a podcast about how like these indie directors are getting discovered, and it's a good thing that they are getting discovered. But
it is.
given too big of projects, case in point, Fan Four Stick. Maybe we'll just do a whole podcast where our only topic is Fan Four Stick.
That would be fine.
Maybe it's too late, but maybe just for the heck of it, we'll do it. But Jonathan, a little more on you. I don't want to shut you out because Kevin and I we just talk on. But please,
just
talk. You
just
have
work
great
your
insight.
way in. Just fight your way in.
Fight your way in, please. Punch us in the face if you need to. I mean, just go for it. What do you think?
Well, I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I think, all in all, it's a great film.
Mm-hmm.
I think it does a really good job of getting you to be surprised by
Yes.
things. Because
Yeah.
so many movies
Yes.
these days, they lack that surprise factor. Like, you start thinking, oh, I know what's going to happen next.
Exactly.
And
I,
this
I was
one-
on the edge of my seat though. I was
Yeah.
like, "What's gonna happen? How's she gonna do this? Oh my gosh!"
I haven't seen a thriller in years that startled
This
me like
is
this one did.
this is the epitome of thriller.
Like
This is
it's great dialogue. It is a perfect setting.
You know what I compare it to? Not just because of plot, but just the way it can do suspense. I compare it to Misery. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, I
not
can
like-
see that. Absolutely.
I was just saying, when we walked out of the theater, I said, that is the best non-Stephen King movie that I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
I say like the way I describe this movie is if Twilight Zone
Mm-hmm.
didn't happen when it happened and was instead happening now.
Yeah.
this movie would have come.
and that's
from,
where the Cloverfield comes into play.
Yeah.
When it's called Cloverfield, I think Cloverfield is a new code name for like this new like kind of Twilight Zone
I would be totally
universe.
fine with that. I would be
where,
totally okay
where
with
these
that.
things are connected by this like
Like
by
a
the
very-
name and
I
things,
love that
but not
idea.
really.
That would be a
that would
great
be a
idea.
great idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea, and like make a franchise
Mm-hmm.
by not franchising.
And if they wanted to do another one where they do explore that, I have a really good idea for a legit sequel to Cloverfield that I'll talk about sometime.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and get into spoiler territory. If you do not want to hear this, we'll put a timestamp on our YouTube. If it's on SoundCloud, we'll do our best. We're still getting used to SoundCloud, but this is your last chance. Again, if you want to see this movie, even if you don't want to see this movie, go see this movie. And
You'll like
and then-
it even if you don't think you will.
It's that good. But then come back here and you can listen to us spoiler talk. Okay. Let's talk about the ending. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
What was with this ending? Like, I can get why people would be
Yeah.
turned off by this ending. Okay, because she gets out of John Goodman's hands, and he gets he loses a hand. That was
he got taken care of. He got taken out the most brutal way.
That was
as brutal as you can do in a PG-13 movie.
Exactly, and it was done. I think it used its PG-13 rating to its advantage because it worked with what it couldn't show you.
Exactly,
and a lot of horror films, thriller films.
Yeah, sometimes what you don't show it can make a big impact.
Take a note, Eli Roth.
Yes, thank you, exactly.
I have to show everything.
But no, like this ending is just like, okay, they're aliens.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
And every second I was waiting for that, like for the Cloverfield like monster or something like that.
Show up.
When the thing was coming out of the brush and it went to the car and it was knocking the car, I was like, oh, that's a parasite. That's one of those little parasites from Cloverfield, which you haven't seen. Cloverfield.
Right, but no, but yeah, I totally. I get what you're
the whole
saying.
time I was like, yeah, there it is, and it wasn't. And I was like, whoa.
It's like,
and then
whoa.
There's the big light.
The big ship.
Behind the
ship
farmhouse.
comes in.
I was like,
oh my god,
here we go.
And then she like gets on a Molotov cocktail. It was like, this shouldn't be as awesome as it is, but I'm totally thinking. And like, okay, I was totally satisfied with the last shot.
Yeah.
When she turns her car
and driving to Houston.
Okay, because this is why I applaud this film so much. Everything that is a payoff is set up perfectly. Mm-hmm. Things you think that are just for a cheap laugh or just for a bit of comic relief actually show up later. Like the shower curtain that turns into the gas mask suit. And I was like, that's genius. And then her little story about her little character development about the girl in the hardware store. I was just like, okay, this is just a bit of character building. I like it. And then at the end, I was just like, oh, that is perfect.
And they even set up her having the booze in the car because John Goodman brings the box and he goes, all the stuff I got in your car. Sorry, I didn't have time to grab the booze.
And that's what modern film, modern script writing is missing so much.
And you know why why that helped is because the writer of Whiplash is one of the writers for this movie, Damien Chazelle.
That makes total sense now. That makes absolute total sense. Oh my! But yeah, this movie, I will probably go see this movie again. I will probably buy it.
You know what the ending reminds me of, actually? And immediately after I walked out, I thought of this. Remember that game Resistance?
No, I don't actually.
Really? Oh,
one of the premier titles for the PS3.
Oh, really?
When it came out.
It was like an alien invasion.
Okay, it started to ring a bell. I think so.
Well, the ending, setting up the Resistance and everything, reminded me a lot of Resistance. And I think that would be cool if they wanted to do a sequel to this in that way.
I don't think they could do a sequel with how they ended it, like a direct sequel, because if we do, it turns into a military film. Yeah, and like that's not a sequel we need. That's my thoughts.
Although I do have to say I would love to see more of her character.
True, she was a great character.
She was
she was always taking action. She was always trying something new. She just didn't plumb give up until it looked safe, and then when things started to get a little uneasy, she started working at it again, and that was really cool. I thought that was really, really well done of the scriptwriter and the director, and the ending again made me feel a lot like Twilight Zone because at the end of a Twilight Zone episode, like sometimes it's a twist, but a lot of people don't remember that there was Twilight Zone episodes that didn't really have a twist. It just had a punctuation, a period, and it always left you with this feeling of content that like the story is over, and like I got everything I needed from that was a lot of Twilight Zone episodes. It wasn't just a twist. Yeah. Sometimes it wasn't a twist at all. And that's how I felt at the end. I was just like, oh, well, that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. And her driving off to Houston to go finally help instead of running away, like she said, I was blown away. I was so, like, that was the thing about this movie. Like, I knew I couldn't have nightmares from this movie, despite it being scary as heck, despite being afraid of John Goodman murdering me. Yeah. This movie was too well made for me to have nightmares. Yeah. It was like that. I was like, I appreciated the film too much.
This movie is one of the absolute best psychological thriller movies that have been made. Because it taps into like that claustrophobia, that idea of not knowing what's going on, being unaware of who you're around, you know? All of that just all blended together so well.
But yeah, we love this movie. I believe all three of us love this movie.
If nothing else, people should see it to support John Goodman because it's great work from him, like always.
If he doesn't at least get a nom,
I hope so.
At least Golden Globe
or something.
I'm gonna be so upset. I'm gonna just like Because this was an amazing performance. The guy from Roseanne pulled it off, in other words.
Someone needs to give John Goodman some award love, finally.
Heck yeah, him and Gary Oldman. Like,
Yep.
I've been saying this for years. Okay, but yeah,
Right.
we've gushed enough. Let's
Yep.
get into some argument territory. But yeah,
Alright.
10 Cloverfield Lane, we recommend it. Go see it sometime this week before... This is a movie you want to see in theaters, but it's also a movie you want to own. Easy. But yeah, let's get into some interesting territory. Okay, so you all know by now the Civil War trailer dropped last week. We record this on Monday, but it goes up on Wednesday, so we are still pretty fresh from the impact it gave us. So let's open this kettle of worms, shall we?
All right. Let's let our special guest get started.
Go for it. He is our guest.
Well, I have to say I'm more of a DC fan than a Marvel fan.
Same. You are in good territory right now.
I ride the fence.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I did really like the Civil War trailer. I can't think of anything more that I'd want from a Civil War trailer.
Yeah.
They finally showed Spider-Man. That
This-
was awesome.
This is the trailer that made me actually want to see it.
Yeah?
This is a film I've been split on ever since they announced it.
Really?
Because I've like read bits and pieces of the Civil War comic, not all the way through, and I was not a fan. I was just like, Captain America's acting out of character, Iron Man's acting out of character, and it just...
Yeah, not everyone likes Mark Miller's writing.
Yeah, and like, if you love the Civil War comic, more power to you. It just didn't gel with me. I'm sorry. But this is a movie... Because, like, the thing was, in the comic, they had a reason why this was happening, is because of the secret identity thing. And I'm like, how could this work? Nobody in the Marvel Universe has a secret identity.
The only one in Spider-Man now. He's the
Well,
only one.
Yeah, he's the only one. And so they were like, oh no, it's a different bill. It's to surveil like the superheroes and to make sure they're under. I'm like, okay, but that's still a little dumb and whatnot. And now we really want to push this Captain America and Iron Man thing when really they were always butting heads.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, it's a friendship that's broken. I'm like, is it though? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, them doing this now, and they didn't really set up that well in Age of Ultron.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell they were trying, but they didn't. So now they're gonna have to really do a good job in the movie itself of showing them get to that point where they hate each other.
Yeah, this was the trailer that made me think, okay, the script could actually be okay. I think the script could be good after this point, because like in the first trailer, it was just all these wham lines. It was like, he's my friend, so am I. Okay, that's cool. Another good trailer line.
And
guys.
they just awkwardly bring back William Hurt.
Yeah, it's just
It's like,
oh
so the Incredible Hulk is part of the universe
So
now?
is nobody gonna mention
Is he going to be
that
confused when he sees Mark Ruffalo?
Mark Ruffalo. Wait, you've
changed.
You were taller and scrawnier.
You were less
and
Puerto Rican.
wider, and more Edward Norton-y. I mean,
Yeah.
oh gosh.
But he grew a mustache, so he's a different general now.
Yeah, perfect.
Black
But if Liv
mustache.
Tyler shows up, that's gonna throw everything off. It's just like, okay, then it's canon.
Here we go.
That's gonna be.
Although I'll be more mad if they have William Hurt, but they don't bring back Liv Tyler. Everyone needs to stop messing with Liv Tyler.
Liv Tyler is awesome. She was like one of the things I liked about that Hulk movie. I really liked Liv Tyler in that.
Poor woman.
I know, she's awesome. Anyway, but yes, more things that we feel from this trailer. More things.
Well, it's not gonna happen, but something big to me that I was hoping was gonna happen with this movie was that we were gonna see Daredevil and we were gonna see the Punisher, because they had the best scenes from Civil War.
Yeah,
they did, especially Daredevil.
I don't think
I don't think it's gonna happen.
And even in Infinity War, I don't even think it's gonna happen then.
I know. I just really hope, because man,
Yeah.
the Punisher is my favorite comic character.
Yeah.
Really want to see him in
Well,
there.
like, another thing is like, they showed Rowdy dying. It's just like,
maybe dying. We don't know.
he's dying.
He's probably dying.
It's another Marvel movie death that they just shove in there. Let's face it. It's
Not
just
one of
like-
the main characters,
It's
though.
not one of the main characters, and it's one of the few that will actually stay dead, unlike other Marvel characters that will always come back to life. Even though I love Groot. I'm glad Groot is
Yeah,
alive.
absolutely. We can't leave Groot out.
The world would be a bad place without Groot.
Totally. And actually, the promotional pictures for Guardians of the Galaxy 2 show little tiny Groot, and I'm like, oh, what are they gonna do with? Anyway, that's off topic. But anyway, we'll talk about it another time. But yeah, this Civil War, I'm just like, I'm still super. I want to go see it now, but I'm gonna keep my expectations low. I want to see it because of Spider-Man. I will admit. And like, can we talk about Spider-Man?
We can. I was just about to say.
Awesome. His introduction, smart.
Yeah.
I was a little put off by the suit at first, but after a second look, I think it's okay. I just think, I know a lot of people like the smaller symbol because of the comics, but I still think it's too small. Just maybe like one size bigger would be okay. Yeah. But, you know.
Well, they say he's going to have 2 or 3 different suits in the movie,
right?
So my theory is this is probably like maybe a starter suit or something like that, so it's going to evolve.
To be honest, I think it was Roger Barr on Movie Fights, because I have a bad reputation of quoting people and not saying who it is. So I'm making sure. He was like, I think the better way to introduce Spider-Man would have Tony say, under ruse, and then the web goes, and then it just cuts to black. What do you guys think? Like, would that have been better for the trailer?
Well, I think that sounds good, but I think the idea of them having a mostly unestablished actor, I think they wanted to show that he's good in the role. So he has a good voice for Spider-Man, I think that was important to them.
I think that in the way Amazing Spider-Man established Andrew Garfield's charm with the whole... You know the bit where he's like flinging webs at that crook, and he's like, "Oh, you found my weakness. It's small knives."
Cool. And I get that. I totally get that.
I think in the same way.
And I get that. But I'm also just thinking, what are they going to show us now? They showed Riley dying. They showed how Spider-Man gets into the fight.
I think this is the last trailer. I don't think they're going to show anything else.
Yeah, that's true. It's just like, but like, what is going to be their big thing in the movie now? Like, what is going? It's like, because.
Well, maybe they'll have Daredevil and the Punisher show up.
Perfect. Because a lot of people are like, is Iron Man gonna die? Is Captain America gonna die? And
I don't think either of them are gonna die.
I mean, in Civil War, Captain America did die.
He
did,
but
that could
he's
happen.
on contract and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
But it's all. But that's again like, will they find a way to bring him back to life? It might be that like a new Avengers is assembled and like they're separatists. Wow, I just went into Star Wars vocabulary. Sorry. Oh god, we are just hitting all the fandoms today, which is good. But yeah, it's just like there's probably gonna be like a riff at the end. Maybe the planet will split in two like it did in Force Awakens, and Iron Man will be on one side and Cap will be on the other.
And then you know you have Black Widow and she climbs the mountain and she finds Mark Hamill and he pulls back his cloak.
No, that's the Punisher.
And it'll be my favorite.
Oh, right. And it just mows him down.
And there we go. And then that's how we do it.
That's how the movie ends.
All right.
Perfect. We just made this movie better.
I like with Spider-Man in the trailer because I really like Spider-Man. Of superheroes, like the Punisher's my favorite comic character, but of superheroes, Spider-Man is my favorite.
I like Spider-Man too, and I'm glad they showed him, but I'm like, would it be better? That's always my thought with trailers because again, we were just talking about this. There's a problem with modern trailers, and it's just like that's why I applaud 10 Cloverfield Lane's
did a great job
advertising because it kind of went against all modern. That's why I applaud the first Hunger Games trailer. Because there was only one, and it showed you everything but the games. Yeah. It showed you everything leading up to the games, and then it cut to black, and that was amazing. And there needs to be more trailers like that. Yeah. But anyway, it's just, I will go see this movie. I'm still, like, keeping it low. It's probably, my expectations for this are probably lower than it is for Batman v Superman, I will admit.
I am crazy excited to see Black Panther.
Yes.
100%.
That's going to be great.
That looks awesome.
That looks very cool.
And also, Paul Rudd's going to be in a big movie, a big comic book movie now. Isn't that crazy?
Paul Rudd needs to be in everything.
He's riding on Hawkeye's arrow. The only way to make Hawkeye cool is to have Ant-Man riding his arrows.
I would actually like to see a movie with just Hawkeye and Ant-Man.
Yeah, that'd be the best buddy cop movie ever.
But then again, we are getting Ant-Man Wasp, which will be much better. Yeah. Because that'll be fun. Yeah. But yeah, final thoughts, Civil War, this new Civil War trailer.
Well, I think that probably the Russos are some of the most talented directors that Marvel has working for them right now. So I think I have faith in them. And
sure.
I think even if the marketing for the movie hasn't been great, I think the movie in the end will
Yeah.
be pretty
I
great.
mean, historically, Guardians aside, I don't think Marvel has ever had like marketing that really ever swept you off your feet like 100%.
True, very
you know,
true.
like their marketing is always like the movie's gonna feature this,
Even
and you're
though,
like, oh, cool.
no, well, I will say the first trailer for Ultron, where James Spader is.
Yeah,
doing
but
the
that was
Pinocchio
also
song.
incredibly misleading.
It was very misleading, but it was good advertising.
It was a good
That
trailer.
that actually swept
It
me
was
off
a
my
good
feet.
trailer.
That actually swept me
But
off.
I don't count it as good because it misled me on the movie.
Well,
I like
that-
trailers that tell you what you're getting into,
Yeah.
and are also good. You know, I'm,
Yeah, that,
you know,
that is a bad trailer, but that's a bad trailer in hindsight.
Fair
That's
enough.
the problem. That's
I was incredibly excited when it came out.
exactly my point.
I get
so
you on- I
that's
get you on
why
that.
that's why my expectations are low.
I got you.
So that final point was perfectly made thanks to an assist by Kevin. So we are moving on.
That's my job.
All right, so now the fun part. We get to have fun with this one. This is going to be great. So some great casting news came out. So before, on our last podcast, we were talking about Sly and Guardians, which is awesome.
So awesome. Whoever he plays, whatever he does, as long as they don't waste him.
But, yeah, exactly. But here's the funny thing. When we were recording the podcast, we were saying that J.K. Simmons should have played Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
And as soon as we turn off the microphone, we leave the upstairs dungeon. I get a message from Kevin. J.K. Simmons is playing Commissioner Gordon in Justice League.
The story broke while we were doing the podcast.
It did. It was amazing. And it was
It's
like
the craziest thing I watched
It was
because
like-
Jonathan texted it to me.
you're kidding. That is amazing. But that is just our luck. As soon we were just talking about.
I was
it.
all like, man, they missed a golden opportunity. I could have brought
And
J.K.
I-
Simmons into the universe, you know?
And I was like, oh gosh, this is gonna go up on Wednesday. People are gonna be like, what are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. This first episode of this podcast sucks. And now I'm British for some reason. Anyway, yes.
All
two
critics
big-
are British.
Oh yes, they are. But yes, big casting news for both these movies. Let's get right into it. First off, who is Sly gonna play?
Well, they say he's playing a Ravager. That's all they've said.
Yeah.
What extent of that it could be. A lot of people think this means that Yondu is going to join the Guardians.
Ooh.
So Sly is going to be leading the Ravager team now.
Oh.
And that could be incredibly interesting.
So maybe, because he would be the leader, for one.
Absolutely. You're not going to waste Sly.
He's Sly. So maybe Yondu is teaming with the Guardians and doing good guy things. The Ravagers get restless. One guy rises, and now it's Guardians versus Ravagers. Ravagers are defeated at the end, and then Sly survives somehow or something. I don't know. But yeah, that would be cool. I would like that.
I'd be all for that. And then another theory is that Sly... Well, no... A theory I had before this was announced, because he's just playing a Ravager now. I thought, hey, maybe he's voicing Ego, the Living Planet, you know? Because that's going to be in the movie.
That is how much I wish that was real. I would want Sly to be the voice of a giant planet that just talks. And I'm
Yeah.
just that's the thing with movies that are based off comic books. They need to embrace their comic bookiness.
Yeah.
And no more does any superhero movie do that than Guardians. It's just
I think James Gunn does that better than everybody else.
Yeah.
I think so.
Absolutely.
Obviously. Although I will say Suicide Squad is embracing more than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Because it's got that soul sort. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, Sly and Guardians. Your thoughts, Jonathan?
I think it's a good idea. I think Sly is awesome.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see him.
Sly is my
join a
hero
big
for
movie
anyone
like
who
that.
doesn't know.
Oh, yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, Sylvester Stallone is 100% my hero.
Yeah. Totally. He's just an amazing dude. I'm really excited about
He
this.
had a dream and he sought it and he became Rocky.
He did.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. And just that is just a story to... Yeah, it's like the story of
The story
of
behind
Rocky.
making Rocky is just as inspirational as the movie Rocky.
itself, and I think that's why that movie was so inspirational.
Exactly.
Is because it was just coming from a
Something
real
to be said about a
place.
movie where you can just see the passion that was put into
Heck
it.
yeah, heck yeah. But yeah, I'm ready. I've as soon as Guardians 1 was done, I was like, I'm ready for the next one. And every bit of news that's coming out for it, I'm ready. But I will say this: I have been wanting to mention this, and this is perfect timing. You know what I read 2 months ago? Is that because this was right after his death? James Gunn was actually talking to David Bowie about a cameo for the sequel, and that just broke my heart.
That would have been so perfect.
That I would have loved to see that, because they said he wanted to do it too, and
I
that
believe
made
it.
me so sad. I was just like, oh.
I wonder if they're just gonna scrap that from the movie, or if they'll give the part to someone else, or what they'll do.
I think
now.
what they'll do is they'll just probably, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they'll have a character that like very much resembles Ziggy Stardust.
You'll definitely have another David Bowie song in the movie.
Oh yeah, I think the movie is going to like open with Starman.
Yeah,
like I would put money on it.
It's perfect.
This movie might open with Starman, and the movie might even get dedicated to him. That would make a lot of sense.
That'd be
because
cool.
when Moon Age Daydream got played in the first one,
Uh-huh.
I was just like
great.
I was raising my hands in the theater. My friends around me were looking at me like I was nuts. But that's my favorite Bowie song. And when that guitar solo started when they were flying, I was just like, yeah! Let the Bowie like flow through me, man. I was just like, yes. But yeah, okay. Enough about Guardians. Let's talk about.
J.K. Simmons as Commissioner
Oh
Gordon.
my
A thing
gosh.
that was not being rumored at all. Nobody knew that was going to happen.
That story just broke.
It just
did.
came out.
It
They
just- bam!
they secretly casted Jake. They secretly had meetings with J.K. Simmons and cast him.
Yeah.
And before that, everyone's like, "Oh, it's got to be Bryan Cranston to play the part," which he would have been great. Obviously,
But he already played Commissioner Gordon, which
And-
I would have loved to see him in live action, but let's give someone else a chance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
But,
but now it's like J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon. That's perfect.
It's absolutely perfect.
He must have gotten so tired of not getting asked to play J. Jonah Jameson.
Well, actually, he did come out with a statement for that. He was just like, I would love to return to it, but that's not my decision because there was a petition online, which is now, I'm guessing, shut down. Because...
So now, what they have to do, they had the perfect J. Jonah Jameson, Amazing Spider-Man 2, get Paul Giamatti to play the part. It'll be perfect.
Absolutely perfect. But yeah, J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon is a wonderful idea because I've always seen Commissioner Gordon as just this guy with baggage. Because he is. He's absolutely a guy with baggage because in some storylines, especially in year one, like this is a man who cheats on his wife and makes sure he makes it right. He's doing the right thing, and that's why he gets Batman. That's why he goes along with Batman, because he knows it's a guy who's trying to make something right, and he doesn't know everything about him, but he trusts him. And I could see that in J.K. Simmons. He's got this feeling of wisdom. It's like, he can be scary, but like in other roles, he's got this... Like, Commissioner Gordon is basically a tough dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And J.K. Simmons fits that like a glove.
Yes.
I love year one. I think it's an even better James Gordon story than a Batman story.
Yeah, I will talk more about this soon, but like year one gets Batman a lot of things right, a lot of things not so right, i.e. Catwoman, which again I'll talk about later. But I think the reason why year one works is because it understands the myth of Batman, which a lot of people don't get. It's just like there was this episode of the animated series called POV. And it's these three police officers who are recounting a Batman story. They see Batman in action. And one guy thinks Batman has powers. He's just like, he held out his hands and these guys just fell because he didn't see the battering. And I'm just like, yes, that's what I like in a Batman story, is the myth of Batman. And that's why I like year one so much. And you're right, it is a Commissioner Gordon story. So...
Yeah. I think that J.K. Simmons is a really good choice to play that kind of Gordon.
Yeah.
Whereas he's a very complex character and he has a lot of dark emotions.
And like he hides a lot. So he can't show his real. He's like, because he's getting stuff from the police force. He's getting all these insane people in his city and all that type of stuff. Which the fact that and this casting was for Justice League. Keep that in mind.
I'm hoping that maybe he might be in Suicide Squad because it's possible. It's possible I mean, considering that he was like cast out of nowhere.
That is
I mean,
true,
it meant that there was no speculation.
But there's a lot of evidence. If you go back to the trailer, somebody will point out there's an Easter egg on one of the cars of where the city is, and it is a comic book city, but it's not Gotham. So maybe not. But the thing is with this being a Justice League movie, it just tells me that Gotham is going to play a much bigger role in Justice League because Commissioner Gordon is not in city affairs outside of Gotham.
Is he gonna come to their moon base?
Yeah, we need a professional. Get me Commissioner Gordon. Why did you bring me here?
He's the guy who runs the Justice League, not Batman or Superman. He's
the
the guy who knows how to
Nick
keep
Fury.
people in control.
He's gonna turn into the Nick Fury of the DC. Not make absolutely no sense. But that would be hilarious.
That's what I would do.
But this was perfect casting. This was absolutely perfect casting. I'm ready to see.
Right? Like, words cannot express how excited I am for this DC universe to finally get on its feet and going.
Same,
because
same.
it's so close now.
It is. It's
so
actually
close.
happening. And like all this news is coming out. Wonder Woman just wrapped production in London. That just came out today. I want to see that. Again, J.K. Simmons. They say Justice League is going to be a little lighter than Batman v Superman, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
Variation, thank goodness.
We can't have characters like, the Flash and like Green Lantern.
Well, yeah,
We can't have
that
them
was
get
another
too
thing. We were talking about this last week. Is it's like one guy being over all this makes me a little...
Yeah, but like I said, George Miller is brought in as a producer.
So-
I think he's going to be much more of a creative consultant than just a
Yeah.
producer.
Yeah, because to be honest, if you're bringing the guy who made like the best action film of the last year as a producer, you're going to be asking him a lot of questions.
Yeah.
You're like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? It's just like, oh, just spend $1 million on actual cars and let's destroy them.
Can you imagine if we go see Justice League?
Yeah.
And at the same time, you're seeing the visuals that Zack Snyder is known for.
Yeah.
At the same time, you see George Miller visuals in that movie.
that would be amazing.
Our heads will explode
Yeah,
because
and
it'll be
maybe-
everything we wanted.
Same. And then the doof, the guy with the flaming guitar. He will be part of the Justice League.
Naturally.
Easy. We need another guy. We need someone to
A
fight.
full-time member.
We need a full-time member.
It's just like the Dark Knight Returns. The mutants are taking over Gotham, and
Yeah.
he's one of those mutants.
He
He's
does
playing
look
the
like
flaming
one.
guitar,
Bam!
right? It's perfect.
And he goes up against El Diablo in Suicide Squad. It's
There we go.
fighting fire with fire. That's
Exactly.
That's what we'll make the subtitle. It's Suicide
And then Jesse
Squad.
Eisenberg will talk over it.
Oh gosh, now you've ruined it.
But say what you want. Say what you want.
Jonathan liked that one.
Say what you want about the DCU. Eisenberg aside, they have nailed casting
Yes.
incredibly well.
Yes.
Like almost every casting choice they've made has been like on the nose. Great.
I
We
agree.
have yet to see about Flash, but
But I trust him. He's a good actor. I really think he's going to be
I'll
good.
wait until I see a little bit more to judge.
Same with Cyborg. But Jason Momoa's Aquaman.
Jason Momoa.
We are going to mention
got-
that every week.
We got Momoa and we got Ben Affleck as Batman. That's all
That's
we need
enough.
right now,
It's
you
just
know?
like, I'm sold with
They'll
that.
do the heavy lifting. It's
They
fine.
will. It's just like, especially Aquaman, because he's got super strength. Everybody doesn't understand his powers. Anyway, don't get me started about Aquaman.
If he shows up with
Yeah.
the spade hand in this movie, I'm gonna
Yeah,
lose my
I wish that would
mind.
happen.
It could.
Maybe in Justice League his arm will get cut off. I would actually save that for the Aquaman movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because I think the movie's going to take place before BVS.
If they
Oh,
did,
yeah.
if
Solo
they
movie?
did it where
Oh, I see
So
what you're
that's why
saying.
if he showed up with
Yeah.
the spade
Yeah.
hand, it would
Well,
be
all
so
the
cool.
promotional material isn't showing that for BVS.
They could be saving it though.
true.
You never
very
know.
True.
if they showed him showing up with the hand and then showed how it happened in the origin movie, I think that would be a good way to do
That would
it.
be interesting.
That'd be a good way to do
I
the
definitely
origin.
want to see that because in the comic it was done kind of dumb because piranhas eat his hand because he's feeding them, and I was just like, sure.
The way they do it
but
in
they
the
do it
Justice
in the
League.
cartoon
Yes.
is perfect. Is absolutely perfect.
So
and
good.
hopefully they'll take a little more inspiration from that. But anyway, but yeah, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
But yes, this is perfect casting.
gonna be
I
great.
want to definitely.
This
see
makes me even more excited for the solo Batman movie
Oh,
because this means
yeah.
we're gonna get Ben Affleck directing J.K. Simmons as
Hopefully.
commissioner.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Holy cow, that would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. And here's the thing: if they do, the thing with Batman solo films now is that they have to do Red Hood.
Oh, and they are. They
yeah?
they basically confirmed it.
Yeah.
They say it's gonna take a lot of inspiration from Red Hood, and it's gonna take some inspiration from The Killing Joke too.
Perfect, because
That's
that's the
really
thing.
cool.
Because even though they don't want to come out and say it yet, let's face it: it's Jason Todd who's the dead Robin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's
Everybody
face
knows
it.
that.
And it's just like that's who's. The
But
one
some people think it's Jason Todd as the Joker.
No,
That's really
stop. Don't bring that.
That's
in.
one of
I
the
read it on
worst
the
things.
internet. It has to
we're
be
not,
true.
We're not going to bring that into the upstairs dungeon. I'm going to have to clean this place now that you've mentioned that. But no,
Oh, also Zack Snyder's son is playing Jason Todd in flashback.
is that? Yeah. Oh god.
That's not true. That's not
That's
true.
not true. But no. Yeah.
Internet rumors are fun.
Red Hood is like the only thing that makes sense because we've got a dead Robin. We got a insane psychopath Joker because that's the direction they're taking.
Yeah.
So Red Hood would make the most sense. It would absolutely make the most sense.
I know. I'm really hoping that they bring Black Mask in personally.
Oh,
We were just
yeah.
talking about this today. We came up
yeah.
with a really good actor to play Black Mask.
Go ahead.
Viggo Mortensen, who played Aragorn in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that. I could totally see that. And heck, with CGI where it is, that would be easy to do.
Right?
That would be absolutely easy to do.
I don't think Viggo Mortensen's an actor who would get so caught up on FaceTime.
No.
I think he'd be fine with
He
it.
would be totally fine with
Because that's the
it.
thing about casting Black Mask. You have to think who would be willing to sacrifice
Yeah.
for FaceTime.
Yeah, totally. And FaceTime in comic book and movies in general, we
Yeah.
will definitely make that a topic because that's been something I want to talk about. But as for...
Credits to Ryan Reynolds.
Oh,
on
yeah,
that.
credits to Ryan Reynolds, totally. And credits to, what's her name, who played Captain Phasma.
I don't know.
It started with a C. I'm sorry. I feel terrible now. But yeah, she was awesome. But yeah, we will find a time to put that. That might be next week's topic. We might get a little more philosophical. That's not the word. But we might get...
We'll do something. We'll talk.
We'll get less specific in our topics next week. But yeah, this was fun. Jonathan, thank you so much for being on the show.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Hopefully you enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
Daredevil Season 2 comes out on Friday.
Yeah.
Everybody watch it, because
Yes.
it's the best show.
I will someday. I know, it's like...
Both you guys.
I'll
Hey,
get caught
someday
up, I know.
you need to get into Young Justice, my
Yeah.
friend.
We'll trade. We'll trade jobs.
There we go,
All
perfect. Because
Fair enough.
they need all the views. But yes, thank you always for listening to Warped and Whatnot. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube at Classy Octopus. Follow us on SoundCloud, Classy Octopus Productions. We thank you guys. Gentlemen, any final thoughts for this week, for the lovely people?
I hope whatever we talked about today doesn't break in a different way like last week. I don't want to look like an idiot on Wednesday again. But...
Fair enough. Jonathan, your thoughts?
Have a good spring break.
Excellent thoughts. We love you guys. Thank you for your support, and we will be talking next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.